Everyone. So happy to see everyone here today. We're going to do something really exciting. Some of you might be repeats from last year, from last week. Welcome back and welcome to some of our first time crafters. So we're going to be working with yarn today, doing something like this. This is a very old time kind of craft. It's been around for a long time. I remember doing it myself as a kid, and I'm sure it's even older than me. Super easy and lots of fun. And then afterwards, you can make more and more at home, give them names and play. So let's get started. Hopefully, you've got a little bit of everything. So on my table, I'm displaying everything that we will be needing for today. The most important thing is, well, not the most important thing, but one of the most important things is we definitely need a styrofoam ball for the head. Now, if you don't have one, don't worry. We can use bunched up paper and wrap it with masking tape. Is anybody using paper today by any chance? If not, I'll skip right over the masking tape paper section and we'll go right to using the styrofoam balls if that's what everyone's working with. If you are using the paper, you can write it in the chat box, or you can turn your mic on and let us know. And I'm happy to show this step as well. Okay, I'm just going to move that out of the way for a second. Okay, so first thing we need to do is we need a book or a hard surface, okay? It can be any book, more or less this big. Now, the bigger the book, the longer the legs you're gonna have. And the longer the legs you have means the more braiding you're gonna have to do. So depending on how much time or how big you want your octopus to be, that you should choose the size of books. So for example, hey, Dan, can you put it on the overhead? Just so they get a nice close up what I'm working on. Thank you. Okay, so not a great ruler because it's clear and you can't see everything, but this book is about 11 and a half inches. Okay, this is one of my favorite books. If you know this author, he lives in Toronto. I know his niece, I'm friends with his niece. So this means the legs, we're going to wrap it all the way around. So if we double 11 and a half, we're going to end up with 23 inches, okay? Doesn't have to be that big. If you want shorter legs, you can wrap it around this way. And then you're going to have 8.5 inches. Sorry, nope, that is 9.5 inches. So that's going to be like 20 inches total, okay? So any book will do. And then let me just move a few things out of the way, make room so I can show you a little bit better as we go along. Okay. Okay, so I've got my book. I can leave that there. And then I'm going to find the beginning of my yarn. Hopefully it's not too tangly. I found lots of yarn. My mother used to crochet. She doesn't crochet anymore, but she's got tons of yarn left over. So I brought this light color because it's easier to see on camera. We learned from last week that darker colors made it a little bit more difficult to see. Okay. We are going to, excuse me, just a sec. Okay, I am back and we're going to hold it like this. See how I've got that over there? And going to wrap it all around. And you know what? Let me put it in your vision. We're going to just keep wrapping and wrapping a lot of yarn, okay?
What can we use instead of yarn?
Do you have any string?
Okay, well, we'll look
String
for
or
it.
twine? String would be good. And then take a look. Oops. Let me just do another one to get that in there. Okay. I'm just going to keep winding lots and lots of yarn. Okay. Now, remember, we need lots of yarn because what's going to happen is I'm getting a bit of a glare on there. The styrofoam ball has got to be lodged in there. So we've got to put enough yarn on there that's going to cover the entire styrofoam ball, which will be the head of the octopus. So don't be shy. Wrap lots and lots around. Oh, I see someone's making a big one. Oof. Going to be a lot of braiding, long legs. Okay. I know, I'm sorry, the camera's probably going to go in and out of focus with me moving so much. Okay, everyone doing all right?
It looks like we do have quite a large one. I don't know if you can see, yeah, if you can see Diane, but
I do see that.
it's great to see everyone working so hard.
Okay, so you can see like I've got a big ball of yarn. I'm not gonna use it all, but I'm gonna keep on going, okay? Now the yarn I'm using, you will notice if I bring back my other samples, it's kind of like a thin, not super thin and not really thick either, but it gives you an idea for those who are looking for yarn. You can use the really thick stuff, but it'll just be a little bit more, a little bulkier to manage. Okay, so every now and again I stop and I know it's tight on there, it's wrapped on there pretty tight, but I stop and I just kind of imagine stretching this around it and just to check if I need more on there. It's always better to err on the more side because you can't hurt it if you don't have, or if you have too much. There isn't really a too much. However, if you don't have enough, you might end up with an octopus with a few bald spots. You see there? We want to make sure we cover the styrofoam ball like that. Okay. Okay, I think I'm getting there. I think I might be set. How's everybody else doing?
Looks like everyone's getting an arm workout.
Hey. So when you think you're ready, now comes the tricky part. You might need someone to help you because what we do now is we have to cut this. And because it's all bunched up, it's going to be hard to cut. So sometimes what I do at this stage is I kind of like push it, spread it out a little bit, and then I'll cut some strands at a time. So my scissors won't go through the entire thing. So when you're set, I start to cut. And this is where you kind of need really good scissors to cut through fabric. And look at my left hand or my other hand that I'm not cutting with. I'm holding because otherwise it will bounce. It's under tension, so it's going to bounce away. So I just hold it with that hand and gently cut through. Okay. There we go. And then I take it off, but I never let go of it. I've still got it in my hand. You see how this is going to be the top part, the hair for our octopus. You can make the hair as long or as short as you like. I made one with shorter hair and one with longer hair. And so when When you take it off, you've still got your other hand holding the top of it, but it should look like this. Now look at mine. You see how the legs are a little bit shorter than on my gray friend. By the time I braid them, the legs will be a little bit shorter, okay? I decided to do shorter legs for the demo today because it does take time when you do the longer ones. But you know what? Take a look at these long ones. I didn't braid right to the end. For this one, I decided I wanted to leave some long frills at the end, tassels at the end. Whereas on the pink one, I braided right down to the bottom. Okay, that's entirely up to you, whatever you want to do. Okay, so when you're at this point and you've got the fluff in your hand, you're going to take an elastic band. And I've got some elastics right here. Doesn't have to be a big one. And tie it around the top. Now remember, this is the hair, so you have to just decide. It's going to have long hair or short hair. Oh, my elastic band is so tiny. Hopefully it doesn't break. Okay, doesn't matter what color elastic band you have. This is a blue one, but we're going to cover it up. We can use any of these tassels afterwards to decorate it, or we can cut a piece of the same yarn and wrap it around and tie it and cover that elastic. Okay, so it doesn't matter what color elastic or what kind of elastic. Okay. Has everybody gotten more or less to this stage? There. Isn't it fun when it's dangly like that to all the tassels? Lovely. I see some purple there. Okay, so we can set our book aside. Don't need it anymore, except tonight for reading.
Oh, is everybody caught up okay? Can I see thumbs up? I see Kylie and John. Thumbs down. What's going on, guys? I thought I saw that.
Do you want me to backtrack a little bit, Kylie and Jonathan?
Yeah.
Okay.
Which part do you guys need a hand with?
We're still wrapping.
Oh, you're still lapping. Okay.
Can you hold up your wrapping to the camera just so I can see how it's going?
Let's start again.
Okay. I can do another one with you. Remember, just hold it with your thumb and then just keep wrapping it around. Lots and lots. Right? Okay. Oh, I see. You've got one going and you're probably working on another one. Okay, super. Great. So here's the here's the part where we're gonna create the head. We're gonna lay it on our table like this, and then styrofoam ball is gonna go right under the elastic that you just put on there. Okay. Make a nest. Okay, pretend you're making a nest. It should hold it like that. Okay. And then what you're going to do is just with your hands gently cover, make sure that all of the yarn covers the styrofoam ball. Okay. And you can move it around a little bit. Looks like I might have to open it up and rejig some of the yarn there. Get it all going down nice. My yarn appears to be a little bit curly because I took it from the middle of the skein, which is the ball of yarn. Okay.
Looks like pasta.
Yeah. Oh, it does. You're right. Pasta. Almost dinner time. I think we need a chef to make some pasta for us. Okay. How is that looking? Okie dokie. Nice work. Nice work. So what we need to do now is to put another elastic right here to hold the styrofoam ball in place. Okay. So holding it very carefully. And this is the part that always requires a little bit of jiggling. And it is sometimes challenging to work with elastics and yarn because the yarn has so much texture. How did I do? So. Go. Okay, so I've got the elastic around once and I can always move. The good thing about this is it's not glued down, so you can always shift and jiggle and move a little bit to make sure the styrofoam ball is covered. Okay, I'm going to put this elastic around another time. Okay.
Looks great, everyone. Does anyone have any questions for Dianne? Kylie and John, have you guys caught up yet? I can see that it looks like John's. Oh, perfect. We're laughing. That looks great.
Looking good. Okay, so there's mine. And then I can just flatten things a little bit. Some of the, okay, oops, got a few holes there, don't I? I could have probably put a few more, probably could have wrapped the book a little bit more, but there, it's covering. Oh, no, here, I got a whole bunch here. Kind of spread around, slightly around. Okay. Okay, super. Now, before we do the face, we are going to work on the legs. So how many legs, tentacles does an octopus have? 5, 8. Yes, that's why it's called an octopus. Okay, so let's divide this in half. Okay, more or less. You don't need to count the strands. Just grab it in your hands and feel. If it feels more or less equal, that's great. Okay. Now we've got 2, but we need 8. Okay. I'm going to take this, each of these, and we're going to separate it out again. Okay. I'm going to create 4. Oh, I seem to have one very long one here. Okay. And then from here, we're going to do that again. Okay. So at this point, I'm going to shift my octopus that way. And then I'm going to start braiding. Remember, this is going to be divided into 2 as well. And then there'll be 2 here and 2 here. I can divide them out a little bit later when I get to them. Let's start with the braiding. Okay. Now, is everybody familiar with braiding? To braid, you need 3, and you're going to go over. Okay. Over and into the middle. Take the left one, I'm going to go over and into the middle. Take the right one now, go over and into the middle. If you haven't braided before, maybe you can find an adult or an older sibling to help you. And then we just keep braiding the legs. I don't braid them too tight because if you braid them really tight, they'll buckle up. Um, they'll be crimped a little bit. If you braid them loosely, they'll flop around. Won't be quite as stiff. So that's how I like to do them. Okay, so when you get to the end, you have to determine how many tassels you're going to leave. You can leave as much as you like or as little as you like. Well, I think this is good for mine for today.
How's everybody's braiding doing? I personally don't know how to braid, so this would be a really tough task for me. Is everyone okay? Wow.
Okay, and then Kylie, were you able to get your yarn ready? Excellent. Wow, you really boogied there. Okay, here we go. Now I'm going to keep braiding. We got to do 8 of these. I see some really good creations. So one of our participants has a really good idea. If you find your octopus is moving too much, you can secure it by putting a little bit of weight on it. Great work. Okay. Once we get it all braided, the fun part starts with the decorating. Go.
It looks like whoever is helping Taylor braid there has done it before. I'm seeing some pretty fast hands. Oh yeah, see her hair is done.
Oh, yeah.
That's my mom.
I thought it was someone with a little bit of experience.
Okay. These are fun to make. They're pretty easy once you know how to do it. You can make lots more. You can give them away as presents because they're lots of fun. You can personalize them, make them look like your friends.
That's a great idea. You definitely have to take advantage of free gift making while you can. Because when you get to be a grown up, people start expecting you to spend money. If I gave someone an octopus made of yarn right now, it's not.
Okay, I've got 4 more to do. So I'm going to split these in 2 and in 2 again. Here we go. See, I told you the braiding is the one part that takes the most time.
Jonathan, is someone helping you with your braiding? That's good. I would need help too.
Okay, I need 2 more elastics here. Okay.
Next time we have an activity like this, we should try to think of some music to play for productivity. Maybe you guys can let us know the type of music you want to hear. So when we have these long tasks, we can fill the airwaves.
We need some whale sounds or something.
Yeah, like not radio music. Yeah.
So when you are almost done, start thinking about how you want to decorate. You will see here that I've cut out some different ties and decorative I can't think of the word in English. I'm sorry.
Ribbons?
Ribbons, thank you. Any kind of ribbons, ties, or string, or some of the same yarn is perfectly fine as well.
What are you going to name your octopus, Diane?
What's that?
What are you going to name your octopus? What are you going to name it?
Oh my gosh. I have no idea. Maybe the kids at the end can give me some ideas.
We should have had a prize for
I'm gonna name my octopus Squiggly.
Octopus Squiggly.
I like that.
Is that an homage to Squidward from SpongeBob?
I don't know.
Yeah, I know. As soon as I started speaking the word homage, I thought, or SpongeBob is probably an old guy now.
Is everybody ready? Now you can see I made my legs a little bit shorter this time, just because we're limited on the time that we have. And they're not all even, right? You can trim them if you like. Make them all kind of nice and even. Not necessary. I didn't on the other ones, but this one I think I might. Bit of a haircut. Okay. There, looks a little bit cleaner. Okay, now what I want to do is I want to cover up the elastics that are there. So I've got some of this nice fancy shiny gold ribbon. That's what I'm going to use. And I'm going to cut 8. I'm going to do mine all the same ribbon. So I need 8 for the legs and then 1 for the neck and 1 for the head. So I'm going to cut 10 in total. So you can use a variety of colors if you want, or you can use all the same color. Oh, I have a few other colors over here. I might use these 2 red ones as well. So let's do 8 legs. Okay, and we are going to tie them on at the bottom. Super simple. You can either knot them or do a bow, whatever you do. I think this time I'm going to do knots so that the ribbon hangs down a little bit. You'll notice it's not completely covering the elastic. I'm not too worried about that. If you want, you can wrap it around a few times to cover it, or you can just leave it like that. Okay. This is going to give my octopus a little bit of bling. Okay. Okay. And then I'm going to use a red ribbon for the neck. And I just happened to find among my things this little bell. So I thought, oh, maybe I'll try to put this on the neck and it will there. If you have anything like that or beads, you can put beads on there as well. Okay. It's got a bit of a ring to it. And then on the head. So now what we have to do is the face. And you have a couple of options for the face. We can work in felt, like you can see the gray octopus. And I cut the pieces out of felt. However, if you happen to have Google Eyes or buttons that you want to use, you can easily glue those on as well. Okay. Does everybody have felt? I can show the felt. Yeah. Okay. I did put that on the list. So let's do that. Okay. So we have a couple of different options for faces. Okay. Super simple. Look at this one. Smiley face. That one's so simple. Okay. This one's a surprised, oh, face. You can do anything. So what I don't even draw it out. I'm just going to cut right out of the felt. Okay. What I will do, so I'm not working with a big piece, is I just cut out a small piece like this. And I think I'm going to do some eyes like this. Now on my other one, you can see I went really fancy. Okay. So if we do these kind of happy eyes, you cut out a circle and then cut out the inside of the circle. This is where you really need good scissors. Okay, so here we go. And I'm going to trim it just a tiny bit. Okay. This is a little bit bigger than I had anticipated, but there it is. Okay, now I'm going to do another one. And glue is what we need. Just simple white glue. Here I cut out two other ones. Let me just trim them a little bit. Okay. So there, I've got some eyes to put on there. And when you put the glue on, you do have to wait. You have to be very gentle and let it set. It takes a little while to set. And I put a liberal amount of glue. That means quite a bit. Or I don't know if I can even get this glue out. There, I heard the air in it. Oops, there it is. Okay. Don't worry too much about putting too much glue because it will dry clear. Okay, here we go. So even though it's got a bit of glue around the edges, when it finally dries, it'll be clear. And here's our other one. Okay. Okay, now we have to put a big smile on. How's everybody doing?
Seeing some very hard workers.
You have buttons. You can even put them, turn those into the eyebrows, glue the buttons on right in the center of that. Okay. You don't need the buttons though. Oh gosh, I need more glue. Okay. Great. Now we need a nice smile. Got some red felt handy here. Okay. Ready to go. I'm going to do a nice big one. So it's a little bit big. Let's trim that a bit. I'm going to fold it in half, and then that way I will get the same on, it'll be symmetrical, same on each side. Okay. Here we go.
Is that a finished product I see? Oh, cool. Very good. Love the pink.
How is everybody doing?
Does anybody have any questions for Dianne before we let you guys finish up your final touches? We're just at about 4:30 here, and I want to make sure that if you have any questions, you get them into Dianne before we leave you to your own. I'm sure people are going to add a lot of different details, but if you have any questions, this would be the time to ask.
Beautiful work. What are you going to name your creatures? Love it.
Octopus.
Octopus?
Octopus.
Moctopus.
That's a silly name.
So guys, if everyone finishes up after, but you want me to include your octopus in the video that we post, I've just written an email here. Maybe you can help with any of the adults, or if you got a great camera or iPad, you can take a picture and send it to that email address. It's public.art@oakville.ca. And I would add it to the end of the video before we post them online, so that when we share with the rest of the community, they can see, well, this is what Taylor, Kylie, and Jonathan. And sorry, Chef, I don't know what your daughter's last name is.
Okay. Anybody want to share again? Love it.
Perfect. Oh, it looks like I was on mute. I'm sorry, everyone. So please feel free to send to public.art@oakville.ca. Be happy to add these to the end of the video and highlight some of your local art. I hope you enjoy your new octopus friends, and I hope that you join us in future weeks of Crafternoons with Dianne Pearce. If you haven't, there are many other different virtual programs you can attend. For example, tomorrow evening, we are doing a cooking program at 5:30. So you just go to the exact same place, and every Wednesday, we will cook a new meal. Last week, we learned how to make ice cream from scratch. So we hope you'll join us this week as well. Dianne, I'll leave the last word to you, miss.
I hope you can join us next week. We have something bit of a surprise for next week. I would like to try to make bird feeders. We can hang outside and put the bird seed on them. I've got a few designs in mind, so join us next week. We'll work on those. Spring's almost here. Oh, maybe that's a bit ambitious, but anyways, we'll be ready for spring when it arrives. Okay, so we'll see you next week. Same day, same time.
Bye. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Very welcome. Bye, all.